Okay, everybody. I just want to go through the paper really quick and show you how to set up a table of contents and why the headings are so important. And I do have this set up in APA format. Well, fairly much. I didn't finish the title page right here, but I have the running head. I have the pages. I need to finish that. I have my title of my paper, and remember, this is should be a heading. It is a heading one, and I unbolded it because remember, in APA format on page 62, heading 1 should be bolded, except for this introduction piece. I know it's a weird little rule. You know, and I kind of lied too, because the only other place that you would use a heading 1 that is unbolded is the references. So just an FYI. And again, the reason you want to have these in style set up is so number one, you can hit find, you can hit headings, and you can go through and you can find major pieces of or components of your paper and get to them quickly. So here's my references. Oops, see, it's bolded. I have it as a heading 1, so I'll unbolded it. Oops, it shouldn't be bolded. And then, of course, remember all your references are done in APA or APA format, of course. But the thing I want to tell you about that is, I say too much, sorry, is that you should go into paragraph and always make sure that this is a hanging indent. A lot of times you will see none, well, you should see none here, but make sure that's a hanging indent. So what I do when I get done with all my references, this way you don't have to tab in, and remember you only tab when you want to indent a paragraph. Don't hit your space bar. But what you will do is I would just highlight all my references, hit paragraph, and make sure I have hanging right there, and boom, you're done with that, and that's easy. Okay, here is why it's important. And by the way, if you want to build a table of contents for the last paper, feel free to do it. That's up to you. Remember this little paragraph marker I showed you? It kind of tells me where I am with things. So if I want to build a table of contents, I need this page right here. So I'm pushing all this information down here. I'll worry about my spacing in a minute. But because I can never remember this task, I put my cursor right here. And I actually go to help. And I write how to insert TOC. Okay, how to insert TOC. And what I want to do here is insert a table of contents, and it tells me exactly what to do. And I'm going to shut this navigation thing off real quick. So there's my cursor. It says put the cursor where you want to add the table of contents. Go to references and go to table of contents. So you'll click on that. I'm just going to go to, it doesn't matter. I'll just go to this table of contents number 2 because you're going to fix it a little. But here's what's really cool is because I had created styles or levels of heading all the way through, everything comes up automatically with my page numbers and everything. This is the way you need to create your table of contents. So the other great thing about this too is, let me close out of here. This is great. So if you need these table of contents instructions, they're there, but it lets you update your table of contents automatically. So I'm going to shut this. I know that that's not the proper way to present that verbiage. So what I want to do is highlight that and just make it so it is Times Roman 12-point font. Oh, and that it's black. All right, and that's okay, that space right there. But whenever you want to, if you've been typing, I have my P's on right now, so that's why you're seeing all that, the paragraph marker. But whenever I want to update, whenever I've updated my paper, let's say, let me pull these back right now. I know I'm all over the map. I'm so sorry. Okay, so I have that taken care of. I am also going to go and remember how I told you to put in a page break? So I am going to insert a page break here so content does not flow up into my table of contents. Okay, so now I think I'll go ahead and let me shut that P down. All right, so let's say, you see my table of contents, I'm thinking it's looking pretty darn nice. But if I wanted to add, I'm just going to cut and paste here, but let's say I wanted to add another paragraph, and I'm going to call it extra information. Okay, so I know it's a heading 2 because well, number 1, I copied and pasted it from here, but number 2, I can look right up here. And so then I go down here and I type, just regular words. If you skip down here ever and this heading 2 just by chance followed you, all you have to do is highlight and make sure it's normal. Because once in a while you'll notice that it's like, wait a minute, that's a heading 2 down here below. And that happens once in a while. So just highlight it and apply normal style. All right, so now what happens is I'm going to go up here to my table of contents. And remember, I added another heading 2, but it hasn't shown up here. So what I do is click up here just at the top, and I'll say update table. And what you want to make sure is that you update the entire table. Okay, so by doing that, now I see that new header and the page number. All right, once in a while, and this happens with heading 3s a lot, is that for some reason we will continue over and it's like, wait a minute, you know, I know my typing. So it's like, oh my goodness, that's bold and all that. And it's, you know, and maybe you just went up there and unbold it and thought, okay, I took care of the problem. But in fact, when you go back up here, that's why it's a good checks and balance. Update entire table. Oh my gosh, I see some content that shouldn't be in there. That's not a part of it. So you can go back down to wherever that was, right here, and I will make sure I apply normal. Now what would happen, the normal style, now what would happen is I'd go back up and I would update the entire table, and that'll go away. So I think number 1, the table of contents is awesome because it is a checks and balance. For some reason, if I missed the fact that I had extra content following right along with a header or a style, and I needed to fix that by clicking normal. So it's a good checks and balance, but the coolest thing is that this thing just builds itself automatically. And again, it's a great navigation tool. So that's why it's really important to put in styles. Let me show you a couple other things before we go, just so you can see on the layout of a paper. So heading 1 always starts out at top, and again, it's just the title of your paper. You do not use the words introduction, and it is not bold, even though heading 1 is applied to it. So this is normal font, all that, and you can see there. Now when I get down here, I'm using a heading 2. And these are for the major themes. And again, go back to your APA manual. And then I now have my lit review. This is a major, topic or theme. And I want to break this section down into further, I want to break it into smaller components. So what would happen is this is my heading 3, and heading 3 always is indented, double or bolded, and it has a period, and then the content is right here on the same line. As I scroll through this paper, the heading 4, or level 4, style 4, whatever you want to call it, that is the same as 3, except that it is italicized. And I don't use heading 5s ever. So, I mean, if you need to, build them in. And you know what? I rarely use heading 1 that is bolded except for the summary. So that is about it. The thing to remember, this would be a heading 1. Also, the references. Also, if you have you will have appendices. Appendices should be heading ones as well. Gosh, and they won't be bolded. So just look at the APA manual. I'm not such a stickler on that. Well, I guess I am. I shouldn't lie about that. So this again, you'll want these as level ones and not bolded. I hope the new APA manual is a little bit easier. Can I mention how much I don't like APA? I mean, we have to have some form, but I just don't like APA. So I prefer AMA. But if you guys have any questions when you're trying to build a template, let me know. All righty.